she hit me up. Hey, guess what, bro? Guess what? Dude, I'm hella pregnant. Like, I went to my doctor, blah, blah. I'm pregnant. She's like, I'm fucking juice. I'm over here at work. Like, I'm fucking crying. I told you, man, I do this. This is my job. None of them could help. And then now, boom, the velas from the brujo get you pregnant. She tried everything until she met the brujo, until she met me. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Saca las Velitas podcast. This is episode 73. My name is Brujo, and I'm here to do a story time today. Both of my co-hosts are busy today, so I figured, you know what, let me do a story time, because I know a lot of my clients, they love hearing my story times and stuff. So you know how usually I talk about how the majority of my clients, the ones that get pregnant with my candles, they usually end up having boys, and a lot of times the boy even ends up being a Scorpio. Out of all my clients that have gotten pregnant with my candles, I want to say probably about 4 of them had girls, just 4 of them, out of like a bunch of clients. So this story right here is about one of those clients. She actually got pregnant with my candles, and she ended up having a baby girl. So I've been wanting to tell her story for a while, because I feel that her story would help a lot of people out there, and I feel that there might be someone out there going through the same thing, and I feel that it's a very inspirational story. There might be someone out there who's feeling stuck right now, so I feel like this story time might help them keep the faith. This client right here, I've known her for like probably about 10 years now. So it's been about 10 years since I met her. And then she had the daughter a few years after that. So this is one of my big spender clients. There's clients that spend a lot, and there's clients that tip a lot, and as a business owner, you always remember those clients, So this client, she's one of those big spenders. So let me tell you guys how I met her. So about, like I said, roughly about 10 years ago or so, probably a little more than 10 years ago, I'm just chilling one day. I get the notification that she added me. 10 minutes later, she messaged me. She's like, hey, I just found your page. I was wondering if you could do a reading. But she's like, I want to do it in person. She's like, I live in the same city as you, but I live over here. She told me where she stayed at. And I was like, oh, shit, okay, that's kind of far. So she was like, I was wondering if you could drive out to me. And there's a park right by my house. Will you go to that park, do the reading there? She was like, if you're able to come out here, I'll make it worth your time. So back then, I was trying to build up my name. I was trying to build up my reputation. I was still kind of building my business. And my business was still kind of new. I was still trying to get my name out there. So I was like, okay, I'll drive to her. It's an hour or whatever. She said, she's telling me like, hey, I'll make it worth your time. So back then, this is about 10 years ago, I used to charge like $20 per reading during that time. I drive out there an hour away, do her reading. She gave me $300. You know what I'm saying? So it's like right off the bat, she was letting me know, okay, she's a big spender. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like, dude, like, I got you. Like, $20 is nothing. She gave me $300 just for driving out there to her area. Like me, I live on one end of town, and she lives on the other end of town. So she lives like hella far. Like I said, it's pretty much about an hour drive to the outside of town. But she definitely made it worth my time, So that's how we met. So right off the bat, I'm like, damn, okay, like, one, she's a big spender. She's a big baller. She's a, shot caller, all that, right? That very first reading, right off the bat, as soon as I met her, one of the questions was, am I ever going to be able to get pregnant? Am I ever going to be able to have a baby? Will I ever be a mom? Will I ever have a child? The card showed me that, yeah, she was going to get pregnant and she was going to make it full term. So I'm like, oh, yeah, I see right here, that you're going to you will have a baby. You will have a child. You will be a mom. You are going to have a baby. I can't give you a timeline. It's not going to be right now, though, because the cards don't really show me timelines. They just show me, like, now. I mean, they just show me, like, soon or a long time from now. They just kind of show me that kind of timeline, but they don't really show me, like, exact timelines, right? So, side note real quick, I feel like this is very important to the story. So, this client, when I met her, like, that day that I'm doing her first reading, she's in her late 30s. I don't want to say her exact age, but she was in her late 30s. She was almost 40. Okay, so me telling her that, yes, you will be a mom. Yes, you will be pregnant. Yes, you are going to get pregnant at some point. She's like, oh, are you sure? Are you sure? Because she's like, nah, like, I don't believe it, right? So she was like, dude, I already went to hella brujas, hella brujos, hella spiritual workers, this curandero, this curandera. I done been to everybody. I done drink all the remedios, todas las recetas, and I haven't been able to do it. They all tell me, like, no, you're not going to be a mom. You're never going to be a mom. She done went to La Señora Quesoba. She done went to, because, us Latinos, We always know la señora que soba, you know what I'm saying? She done went to la señora que soba, la señora que lee las cartas, la señora que te mete la mano por allá, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? She done went to all these señoras, right? And still nothing. Like she done went through hella treatment. Another side note that I feel that is important to the story. So this client, she's a nurse and she works at a hospital. Not only does she work at a hospital, but she works in the maternity ward of the hospital. So at her job, all day and all night, 24 hours a day, there's females giving birth to babies. Okay? So my client, she's a nurse and she's working side by side, elbow to elbow with doctors, fertility doctors, you know, doctors who are helping ladies give birth, doctors who help women go through IVF. She works with all these doctors, but herself, she can't have a child. She told me straight up, she was like, dude, I work at the maternity ward at, you know, such and such hospital. I work with doctors that help BCs get pregnant. I work with doctors who do, you know, IVF and everything you can imagine, right? Like every treatment you can think of that doctors would do, she works with all these doctors. And none of these doctors, you know, were able to help her. They tried to help her, you know, that like doctors would refer her to their other doctor homies and stuff like that. But none of these doctors could figure out why she couldn't have a child. She didn't pay this doctor and that doctor and that doctor and did this treatment and this treatment. You know, with her, money is not an issue. Like this client, like I said, she's one of my big spenders, man. Like she makes bank. She's one of my big spenders and she's one of my big tippers. You know what I'm saying? So like money is not an issue. She's like, what's the treatment? Name your price. I got you. You know, she's like that. She spent money on the best specialists that she could get. She done, you know, traveled to other states. You know, she done traveled to the East Coast trying to have a child, you know, and trying to get treatments and you know, she just couldn't. So I just want to point all that out to let you guys know like a little bit of the background of how she went through basically every treatment she could think of. And every treatment she heard of, knew of, every possibility that she tried everything. Until she met the brujo. Until she met me. You know what I mean? Not to sound all like cocky and stuff, but it's like until she met me. Right? So when I'm sitting there doing this reading, she's like, nah, I don't believe you. Like I already did everything I could and nothing ever helped me. She's kind of like, okay, like, should I trust this fool? Because remember, this is our first interaction. This is our first time meeting. This is her first reading for me. She's already like, damn, this fool's telling me the opposite of what other brujos and brujas have ever told me, right? So she was telling me like, dude, I have all this money. I have, you know, a bomb-ass career, bomb-ass job, everything. But that's my one issue is I can't have kids, right? So I was like, okay, cool. You know what? Like I said, I'm telling you what the cards are showing. The cards are showing, yes, you're going to be pregnant. You are going to be mom. Okay, so fast forward. So she stayed being my client. She was buying velas for me, you know, love candles, money candles, you know. She was buying mostly candles, you know, for her job and stuff like that, just to make everything go smooth at work, for everything to go smooth with her relationship. So fast forward, we do another reading in person. And this is about 2 years later because one of her coworkers wanted a reading. So keep in mind this, right? So my client, she's Mexican, she's Latina, she's Mexican, and her coworker was a white girl. So the white girl didn't really believe in spiritual stuff. So my homegirl, you know, she's my homegirl now, but, you know, my client / homegirl, she was like, oh, dude, no, I got someone who's legit. So she hits me up. She's like, hey, are you able to come through? We can meet up at the park right there. I want you to do a reading for my homegirl, and then obviously a reading for me too. She was like, hey, you know, I'll make it worth your time. Cool. I pull up to the park, do the reading for the homegirl. The homegirl was kind of shocked. She started crying. Like stuff was showing up in the reading that she was like, what the F? How this fool know that, right? So then I do a reading for my homegirl, and she was like, oh, dude, am I going to get pregnant? Like, are you sure I'm going to be a mom one day? Blah, blah. The cards are like, yes, you are going to be pregnant. You are going to be a mom one day, right? She still don't believe it. It's been 2 years since she asked that question, and she still don't believe it. Because, you know, and I can see it, you know, because it's okay, like, it's been 2 years already. You told me that 2 years ago. Why hasn't it happened, right? Okay, so after her second reading, she still don't believe that she's going to have a kid. Like, for the last 2 years, all her candles that she ever got from me, they worked. Everything that she ever got from me, any kind of trabajo, anything, like, it worked, you know, so she knows I'm legit. But she's still kind of shocked, like, nah, I don't know, man, I don't know. Like I said, she done went to every señora que soba. She done went to every brujo, every bruja, everything you could think of. Like us Latinos, you know, we have certain plugs on certain things. She done went to every plug for everything. You know, the señora que te soba la matriz, the señora que te, you know, everything, you know. None of it worked. So she's still in shock. Even though she knows my stuff is legit, she's still in shock after this second reading, right? Fast forward. She was like, you know what, dude? I've been wanting to get one of your baby maker candles. She's like, but I'm scared. Because keep in mind, now she's damn near 40, right? So she's like 39, right? Now she's 39. She's like, dude, I hella want to get one of your baby maker candles before I turn 40, but I'm hella scared. She's like, because what if I do get pregnant? What if the cards were right? I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, the cards say you're going to get pregnant. If you don't want to get pregnant, don't get that candle. It's going to get you pregnant. My other candles that you got, sometimes they get bees pregnant too, but this candle for sure is like going to get you pregnant. Especially if the cards show that, right? So she's like, all right, cool, you know, fuck it, you know, let me try it. I want to try it before I'm 40. Cool. She got the first round, nada. She got the second round, nada. Third month, she got the third round of the baby maker candle. She hit me up. Hey, guess what, brujo? Guess what? I'm fucking pregnant, blah, blah. I was like, oh, shit, what? She's like, yeah, dude, I'm hella pregnant. Like, I went to my doctor, blah, blah. I'm pregnant. She's like, I'm fucking juiced. I'm over here at work. Like, I'm fucking crying. She's like, I'm over here at work crying, you know, of happiness. Like, I'm so fucking, like, happy. Oh, fuck, dude, estoy bien contenta, all this shit. I was like, dude, I told you. See, I told you, man. I do this. This is my job. By the time that she found out she's pregnant, she's 40. All right? So, the only reason I keep bringing up her age, guys, is because with more age comes more risk, right? When it comes to women being pregnant. So I want to give you guys an idea of how shocked she was and how shocked I was. Me, I knew the spirits could pull it off, but I want to give you guys an idea of how everything was basically against her having a child and getting pregnant and all this, you know? That's the only reason I keep bringing up her age, is just to give you guys an idea of like where she was in life and all the obstacles that she had to deal with to even get to that point. All right. So like I said, by the time she got the positive pregnancy test after the third round of velas, she's already 40 now, right? So now she's 40. Okay. So boom, right there, right off the bat, the doctors are like, dude, this is high risk. Like, this is like, are you sure? Like, they're trying to like talk her out of it, basically, you know. Like I said, and you know, she works in the maternity ward. Like, she works where the women give birth on a daily basis. So imagine what she feels like all day long. There's women giving birth all day long at her job. You go to work for 8 hours and all day long there's bees giving birth. There's bees having babies. There's pregnant bees in there going in, popping out a child, and you cannot pop out a child. You cannot get pregnant. You cannot do none of that. And that's your number one dream, you know. It's like, and you're getting up in age. You're, you know, hitting 40 now, and you were never able to, regardless of all the doctors that you know and all the money that you got and all the sobadoras that you know and all these, you know, everybody that you were recommended to, none of them could help. And then now, boom, the velas from the brujo get you pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now she's hella happy. She's hella happy at work. So then, you know, so now the thing is, okay, here's the second part of this challenge, which is, are we going to be able to have this baby? Is this baby going to make it all the way, right? So, you know, every week she's hitting me up for health candles. By the way, this is not medical advice. I am not giving medical advice. You guys buy whichever candle you want at your own risk. This is not medical advice. I'm not telling you that a certain candle helps with health and a certain candle helps with, this is not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a witch doctor, but I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a Dr. Brujo, but I'm not a medical doctor. Everything I'm saying right now is for entertainment purposes only. So don't go around talking about the Brujo give you medical advice. No. None of this is medical advice, right? Okay, back to the story. So like I said, she's hitting me up every week. Hey, Brujo, health candle for me and the baby. Health candle for me and the baby. She stayed on it, you know. Fast forward, she had the baby. She gave birth. The baby made it all the way. She was 40 when the baby was born. The daughter, the little baby, she's 6 years old now. She's already like in kindergarten, I think. Kindergarten or first grade or one of those. but she's roughly about 6 years old. I think she's 6 now. So my client made it, you know. So it's like the baby clearly made it full term. My client was happy, you know. So that's why that client, she's been my client for 10 years. Like ever since I met her, like I said, ever since day one, I wasn't making nothing up. I wasn't sitting there overselling anything. I wasn't back then. I wasn't even selling candles. I was just doing readings. And then when people started asking for candles, then that's when I started like, okay, like let me do some candles and stuff, you know, because people were requesting them. But back then, I didn't really do candles. I did candles for me. I did candles for myself, but I didn't do them for clients, you know, until clients started requesting them. So, you know, so that's right there is a story that you know I want to share with you guys, because I know that you know there might be some ladies out there that are reaching those ages. That's why I kept mentioning my client's age, because you know I know that when it comes to fertility and you know females, age has a lot to do with it. So that's why I wanted to mention her age, so you guys could see like what she went through, and you know she made it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, she done went to all the señoras, you know, la que soba, la que te soba la matriz, la que, you know, el curandero el curandero el otro. She done been to all the curanderos. She done been to all the brujos, all the brujas. She done been to people that I know. Because like I said, you know, a lot of spiritual workers in my area, they know me. They know who I am. She done been to a lot of people. And she had just given up. And then one day she's just scrolling. She's scrolling on IG. She finds me, my page, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you guys know the jokes I be posting. You know, I don't really post crazy stuff like that no more. I used to post funnier jokes. My jokes used to be a lot more funny, but then I started kind of toning it down. But, you know, back then, you know, my jokes were like off the hook, you know what I'm saying? So, like, she came across my page when I was posting stuff like that. And her own heart, her own spirits was like, dude, this is the one that's going to help you right here. So she hit me up. Like I said, I was trying to build my name up. Now, I don't really drive to nobody to do a reading. Most people come here to my house because they already know. It's like, dude, okay, he's legit. I've been legit. It's been 10 years. I've been legit. You know, so it's like, I don't need to prove to people that I'm legit. But back then, I kind of, you know, I had to get my name out there. I was new on the scene. And like I said, you know, back then, if you needed a tarot reading, you had to drive 30 minutes to another town. Now, everybody on TikTok swears they're a tarot reader, you know. But, you know, back then, it was difficult, man. Like I said, I was the only plug here where I live. That's why, like I said, a lot of the Botani guys where I live, they know me. You know, they F with me. You know, they're cool with me. You know, like, I want to shout out Scorpion Tarot for making me this shirt right here. So it's got a pentagram on the front, right in the center. Normally I get it over here on the left, but this one has it right on the center right here. And then it's got this inverted cross right there. I'm not trying to show off the muscles, guys. I'm trying to show off the cross. Okay, maybe I am trying to show off the muscles a little bit. But yeah, so it's got this inverted cross right here on the arm, on the side of the arm. And then it's got the pentagram right here in the front. This is fresh off the press right here, freshly made. I was going to get it on a black shirt, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm always wearing black on here. So I was like, you know what? Let me get it on a different color shirt. But yeah, man, go get yours from Scorpion Tarot. Me, I'm a size 3XL tall, but pretty much any size you need, he's got you. Anything from extra small to extra large to 3XL to 5XL, you know what I mean? Me, I'm a 3XL tall, and this one fits me perfect, man. This one's from Pro Club. The shirt itself is from Pro Club. I made sure I specified, you know, me, I'm a 3XL tall. You gotta make sure you throw the tall in there, because I'm a big ass fool. So again, man, shout out Scorpion Tarot for this bomb ass shirt. I hella appreciate. I hella love how it came out. I love the pentagram right there. Then again, it's got the cross right there on the side. So when you're standing like this, you know, you can see it from the side right there. Again, shout out Scorpion Tarot. Thank you so much for making me this shirt. Make sure you guys get yours. This is a 3XL tall, but whatever size you need, he got you. But yeah, man, that was just a little story I wanted to share with you guys. Like I said, I had to leave certain details out. That client she actually wants to be on the podcast. I told her, you know, come through, but like I said, she lives on the other end of town and I live on the other end of town, so we actually live kind of far from each other. But I know she is gonna be on the podcast soon, so I had to be careful with certain details because I don't want people to know who I'm talking about. But she will be on the podcast soon. When she does come through on the podcast, I'm not gonna say like, "Hey guys, this is the person I was talking about." But you know, I know she's watching this. She supports the podcast, so You know, shout out her. She's been one of my day ones, man. She was one of my day ones. Like when I feel that when I met her, she put me to the test because she's been to so many brujos and brujas and so many, you know, curanderos and curanderas and so many spiritual workers that she knew her ish. You know what I mean? And she does. She actually knows a lot. She actually knows a lot of people that I know when it comes to the spiritual stuff. So she knows her stuff, you know. So even her knowing her stuff, she knows when someone's real and when someone's fake. So when you know, when I came through, did her reading, and you know, like I said, she continued to be my client after all those years. And then, you know, as soon as she bought those specific candles, boom, she's pregnant. She knew, like, oh, okay, like this fool, like, you know what I'm saying? Real recognizes real. So like she would have known, okay, this was a scam, or this fool, like he's just BSing. But her knowing the people that I know, and her knowing, okay, if he's cool with them, then he's with the ish. You know what I'm saying? Like he's with the ish. And you know, I'm not saying that my readings are always 100% perfect, because you know the future could change. The future could change. You know, like I've told people that they weren't gonna be able to have kids, and then they had kids, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the future could always change. So, for example, for this specific client, the one that the whole story is about, she didn't believe that she was going to be able to get pregnant, and especially have the baby go full term and actually give birth. When she started buying the baby maker candles, boom, immediately pregnant. Third round, she's pregnant, and the baby made it full term. And like I said, now her daughter's 6 years old. I'm not saying that the people that she went to before me were not on point. I'm just saying it's like different, a lot of different spiritual workers might click with different personalities. So for example, if you're going to one spiritual worker, you and them might not click, you know. You and their spirits might not click, or their spirits and your guardian angels might not click. Also, your spirits might clash with their spirits. So if you go to a different one, then you might click a little more. I feel that that's what happened. I feel that my client right here, my homegirl, the one from the story, she was working with so many spiritual workers that her own guardian angels were kind of just on guard, and they were just like blocking out all the help. And then she came to me for help. Her spiritual workers recognized me, and they were like, oh shit, like, okay, like he's really like, this is the one right here. This is the one that's going to help you. You know what I mean? And I've had other situations like that too, where clients went to a lot of other spiritual workers for the same reason, to conceive a baby, and they couldn't. And then as soon as they start buying my candles, boom, pregnant. And some of those candles weren't even for to get pregnant. They were just love candles for like them and their dude. And then boom, pregnant. Somebody doubting their reading, it's not new to me. Even back then, 10 years ago, it wasn't new to me. I've had people who like laugh during their reading. They laugh at me during their reading. And I'm just like calm. And then later, they'll come back and be like, hey, you know what? I was kind of being a B during the reading, you know, but I wanted to tell you, like, you were on point. Like, you were so on point that I didn't know what else to do, so I started laughing, you know. So I've been in situations like that, you know. So like I said, her sitting there doubting me, I'm like, dude, like, this is not new to me, you know. It was not my first rodeo. Make sure you guys get your rosary from Scorpion Tarot. I'm not wearing my rosary today because I feel that it would have clashed with this shirt. But Scorpion Tarot does offer rosaries, whether you want the cross or you want Santa Muerte or you want Malverde or whoever you want, you know, they like hit up Scorpion Tarot. He got you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Sacaloritas, episode 73. We love you guys.